Let me teach you how I made these beautiful detachable ruffles for a child. So I used 2 yards of doll face and about 20 yards of tulle. Okay, so hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emcee. So first of all, you're going to measure round the base of the dress, which is where the ruffles is going to start with, where you're going to attach your ruffles. After doing that, you're going to measure the length of your ruffles as well, and then use it to cut out a flare, a full flare, a 360-degree flare. Here is the base, that is where I'm going to attach to the dress. Okay, and this part is the side, is where the length is, that is the length of my detachable ruffles. Okay, so I began by marking my lines where I'm going to attach the two nets. So I left about ½ inch on the upper part for closing, and then I marked at least 1.5 inches from the base till the end. Okay, I marked 1.5 inches. When I finished marking here, I opened up and marked the other side until I marked everywhere on the fabric. So this is my two. I've divided it into two. I divided my 20 yards into two, and then I'm folding my 10 yards. Okay, so you might remain, your fabric might remain, your two net might remain, depending on the size of the child. Okay, so I folded my net. Just watch closely, you will see how I folded my net. So I folded my net till it was smaller and it was easier for me to mark and cut. Okay, if this is your first time of coming across my video, please do not forget to subscribe, comment, and like this video for more tutorials. Thank you. So I've folded the net into smaller parts so that it will be easier for me to mark. Okay, so I've laid it down and I am marking 2.5 inches. I marked my net 2.5 inches, and after marking, I made sure to mark it to the other end, and then I connected my lines, my markings. And after doing that, I started cutting off my net. Ensure that you're not using a net that is too soft or too hard. Use a tool that is at least medium in strength. So this part, I didn't mark the last part, the folded part, I didn't mark 2.5 inches. Okay, so I just divided my 2.5 inches into two, and I marked the ending of the two, like so. So when I was done cutting, I put my two together and then I gathered them. For me, I use needle and thread. It's always easier for me that way. Most people use their machine to gather. I use my needle and thread. It's easier for me that way. Okay, so I gathered it two. I laid two nets each. Okay, that is, I laid one on one, that is two, and then gathered two together. So after gathering, I'm going to start sewing on the edge, like so. I'm going to start sewing on the edge. Okay, I'll put it on my fabric, and then I'll sew on the right side. Okay, you already know that your tool doesn't have a right side and a wrong side, so I sew it on the doll face. Okay, so I gather and sew, and then gather and sew. See, let me tell you something. This style is not something that you do in a hurry. It's something that takes time, dedication. It takes energy to sew this style. So when you're charge your worth, guys. So I gathered each layer by layer, and when I got to the ending part, you don't need to just overlap it, the net on the other part. Just overlap it wherever it stops. Take the other net and just continue like that. You don't need to join, you don't need to do anything more. Okay, so just make it to look, the fuller the better, the fuller the better. You can also make your tool to be less than 2.5 inches. You can make it to even be 2 inches or even 3 inches, depending on how you want it or how the style is. Okay, so for me, this is how I wanted mine. All right, so you can see where I cut off the excess and then I just continued sewing that way. If you are sewing for an adult, you can also use the 2.5 length of the two and also 1.5 spacing on the doll face, okay, which is the base. You can use the same thing. It will just give you the same effect, the same ruffles and the same full effect. Okay, the only difference will be that the amount of two you're going to use would be much more, and then the amount of doll face you're going to use would be much more, because obviously it's not the same size. If you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please do well to do so now, and I will appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel, leave a comment. If there is a style you would want me to replicate or teach next time, please don't hesitate to drop it in the comment section, or at least send me a message. Okay, you can reach me out on Instagram, on Facebook, or WhatsApp, or even TikTok. I am everywhere. Just type MC Collections and you're going to find me. Remember the 1/2 inch we left on the base? You're going to cut out a 1-inch piece. Okay, that will be enough to go round the circle, and then use it to fold, to sew, and then fold it this way, just the way you're seeing on the screen. I'm sorry the video didn't record that part. I thought it was recording, and by the time I checked, it wasn't recording, so pardon me for that, but I believe you understand what I meant. Just cut out a 1-inch piece and then use it to sew to tape round the circle area. Also use your lining to turn the lower part. Okay, turn from the lower part, and so that the inside would be neat. Okay, so this is the part, and this is the result of the ruffles that I've made. You can see that it's in a full circle, and this is the snap I used. Okay, this is a plastic snap. So just sew it on your ruffles and on your dress. Okay, and when attaching on your dress, attach it on the inside, not on the top of the dress, for neat finishing. Bye bye.